Hello, everybody. My name is Zach Baumstein, and this is my self-assessment, reflection, and evaluation assignment. So who am I? I'm a junior year student here at ASU. I'm studying nutrition with a concentration in dietetics. In my field, I'm interested in nutrition research, sports nutrition, and preventative nutrition. Sorry, just had to move the camera there. So, excuse me. Some of my hobbies include sports, exercise, gardening, and video games. Also, I'm from Durham, North Carolina. So here are my self-assessment results. There's a screenshot of everything. Let's take a deeper dive into that and look at what all these results mean. So the first part of my analysis, the open-mindedness score I got was 76, and the self-assessment test says that high scorers in this area tend to be original, creative, curious, and complex. Low scorers tend to be conventional, down to earth, have narrow interests, and be uncreative. I agree with my rating. I'm a fairly creative and curious person. For example, if I hear something that relates to something relevant to my life, like a claim or something, or also relevant to my studies, I do a lot of personal investigation to shed light on this claim and see if it's valid. I also play a lot of musical instruments, and at one point in my life, I was pretty into painting and drawing and whatnot, so I'd say I'm pretty creative. For my conscientiousness section, my score is a 61, and the self-assessment test said high scores in this area tend to be reliable, well-organized, self-disciplined, and careful. And they said low scores tend to be disorganized, undependable, and negligent. I agree with my score in this area. My organizational skills are generally good, but my self-discipline could use some work, which I think, kind of reflects poorly on this category. For example, I'm pretty good about getting assignments in on time. I'd say 99% of the time I know when stuff is due and I turn it in on time. However, I definitely procrastinate, and I think that itself reflects poorly on my self-discipline. So for the extroversion section, I got a score of 62, and the self-assessment says that high scorers in this area tend to be sociable, friendly, fun-loving, talkative, and low scorers tend to be introverted, reserved, inhibited, and quiet. I agree with my score in this area. Well, to an extent, I don't really agree. I think I would be more in the 40 or 50 range, because I'd say I'm, at least compared to an extrovert, I'm pretty introverted. I like to be social. I like hanging out with my friends, but I also really like, some alone time. I like doing stuff by myself, and, that's just who I am, I guess. So continuing on, my agreeableness score was an 88, and the self-assessment test says high scorers in this area tend to be good-natured, sympathetic, forgiving, courteous, and low scorers tend to be critical, rude, harsh, and callous. I agree with the score a lot. I'm an easygoing guy, and I really just dislike conflicts. I tend not to hold grudges and forgive people for mistakes easily. All of these attributes, in my opinion, are also important for the job I do, so I guess that could be a reason, why my score is so high in this area. My negative emotionality score is a 22, and the self-assessment test says that high scorers in this area tend to be nervous, high-strung, insecure, worrying, and low scorers tend to be calm, relaxed, secure, and hardy. I, for the most part, agree with this score. Generally speaking, I'm a very laid-back individual, but sometimes I can get pretty stressed out about things. It's not a frequent thing, but I don't know. In situations like school, for example, honestly, I'm I'm pretty stressed out about academia. It's hard for me to stay calm about my grades, even when I'm, even when I've studied for a test to the best of my ability, or I've completed all the objectives of an assignment. I can't relax until I know for sure what I got on the assignment. So, all right. So moving on to some key life experiences that have shaped my current/future leadership skills. The three I chose to look into are the organized sports that I used to play, like track, soccer, and swimming, then my participation in Boy Scouts of America, and my job. Organized sports, particularly soccer, helped me work better, with individuals in a team. And then track and swimming particularly helped me be much more goal-oriented, always working towards getting your times down, always working to be faster. I think working towards goals and leadership, working towards goals and working on a team are two very important aspects of being a good leader. And Boy Scouts of America kind of provided me with a template for raw leadership. And I mean that in the sense of it kind of gave me the ability of some hands-on leadership experience. I was always going out of my way to, coordinate events, leading people my age and younger and sometimes older, depending on the position that you had in your Boy Scout troop. So I think that was a very good hands-on experience that helped shape my current leadership skills. And then my current job, actually, I think, is not only helping me with my current leadership skills, but it's also helping me with, my future leadership skills. I'm a manager in food service, and with that comes a lot of leadership responsibility. You have to be organized, you have to stay on top of things, and also you just have to know how to motivate people to do things that they don't want to do, but they have to do. You have to really know how to relate to people, and you have to, even though you're a position higher than most of the people you work with, you really have to know how to get down on their level. And, I think that this job of management is definitely helping me currently as a leader and is going to shape me in the future as a leader. My strengths and my weaknesses regarding my plan of development. My strengths are organization, leadership, teamwork, and attitude. My weaknesses are self-discipline, and my goal with a plan of development would be increasing my self-discipline. There are a number of ways that I can do that. I can remove items or activities from my workplace that may distract me from getting work done. I can work on assignments as they come in rather than before they're due, getting back to what I was talking about earlier about procrastination and self-discipline. I can work on assignments in areas that have few or no distractions, like the third floor of the library. Everybody loves that place. And then finally, I can reduce procrastination in not only the school environment, but throughout my life as well. So, things like paying bills, running errands, and exercising, I can do this stuff in a timely manner rather than leaving it all to last minute. So concluding this presentation, I'm going to talk about my key takeaways from the class and the most helpful assignment, in my opinion. So I had two primary key takeaways that came to mind. Well, actually, I had a bunch, but these are the two that I thought were very prevalent throughout the course. First was food service is much more than just a restaurant with waiters, waitresses, hosts, hostesses, and bartenders, and cooks, etc. There are a lot more, than just conventional restaurants, and food service. There are a lot more factors that go into running a restaurant smoothly, and it's just a lot deeper of a system as a whole than, an outsider would think when they walk into a Chipotle or a Subway. And then secondly, I think you can have a well-built, technologically efficient restaurant, but it doesn't mean anything if employees don't like their manager. And I know this relates specifically back to the management and leadership section of the book. It's just everything boils down to management. Whether, the manager takes a hands-on approach or if the manager is, in his or her office all day, I think, an operation really can't run efficiently without a manager that knows what they're doing and a manager that is respected by their employees. So I thought that the most helpful assignment for me was the mock interview assignment. It helped give me an idea of typical interview questions, and it put me on the spot and forced me to talk candidly about myself. And finally, it helped give me an idea of areas where I need to improve if I want to have successful interviews in the future. And that's my presentation. Sorry it ran a little long. Thanks, guys.